What's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about this company that I'm heavily invested in called Quantumscape. The ticker is QS. You can find it on your local brokerage site. But what I'm going to talk about today is the fact that Quantumscape is up 10%. That doesn't matter that much. It fluctuates a lot. It's very volatile. But also the fact that in the past, since the year started, since January, the stock has been up 80% plus. Now, this is huge considering the past 2 years of this stock's history on the stock market. It's gone down pretty much 80% for me, 70% for me. It's been absolutely brutal. The past couple of years have been brutal. They've been raising rates. So anyways, enough about that. I want to get into the company and why this company is so exciting for me and why I've invested pretty much all of my life savings in this company beyond everything that I've learned in finance, in school, from previous jobs about diversification. This is a groundbreaking, disrupting company, in my opinion. They are making a battery that's going to replace the standard lithium ion battery. You know, the Tesla 4680 cell battery, that battery I think takes an hour to charge and goes maybe 300 miles. I love Tesla, okay? Don't even get me started on Tesla. I think Tesla is a fantastic company. I've loved being an investor in that company, and I'll probably invest again at some point. But I saw Quantumscape, I saw what they were doing, I saw that they were trying to create the first ever solid state battery, which is founded by a guy, the CEO, Jagdeep Singh, who's already had this company for 10 years and had the science down. Once you have the chemistry down, that is, from what I understand, I am no expert on the field. You can critique me, you can add little tidbits here and there on anything that I missed that you would have liked to see in the video, but I do so much content based on Pokemon cards because that's a hobby that I've gotten into the last couple years. And I love the community behind it, as well as I've started doing some videos based on my new fitness routine. And I thought, you know what, I've done a couple videos on Quantumscape, maybe 2 or 3, but I figured I should do an update video on that and see how that's going. Because yes, I am still holding all 4,600 of my shares in this company. I pretty much put my life savings into this company and I wouldn't change it for anything. I think in the long term, it's going to be a fantastic play and I really do look forward to that. That's Bo. He's one of my wife's foster dogs, so I guess he'll be hanging out with us today in this video. We have 6 dogs in the house right now, so if they bark, I apologize. It's just my disclaimer before we really get into it. So Quantumscape, their headquarters is in San Jose. They are backed by Volkswagen, which these are just points that I may have made in other videos, but I think it's important to continuously reiterate the importance of this company and who's behind it. So they're backed by Volkswagen, which if you don't know this, now you know. Volkswagen is the #1 global auto OEM in terms of sales and production. Volkswagen is #1, okay? Number 2 is the fact that this company is backed by other key automotive OEMs that have not been named yet. One of them that is named is Fluence Energy Storage. Now, Fluence Energy Storage Solutions is exactly what it sounds like. It's an energy storage solutions company that's really in the EV field as well. I'm pretty sure they do solar and energy storage solutions for businesses, commercial, residential, whatever. That's really huge because that's a really successful company. I'm not going to go into Fluence because this video is about Quantumscape, but they are one of the key backers. Not only that, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but Volkswagen being one of the backers, you might ask, how are they a backer? Well, they invested $100 million, and at this point, it may be $200 million. I'm not entirely sure. You guys can correct me on this if you know. I was just super excited to see the SP movement today, to see them move 10% today on top of the fact that it's 80+% since January. I'm very happy about this because it's been a really, really grueling road of turmoil the past 2 years, not just in Quantumscape, but in all of the growth sectors. Everything has just been downhill the past 2 years for the most part. Everybody is seeing red. Wall Street is seeing blood. That's just been the case. It's a new era. We may be going through a recession. I know Elon Musk is saying that 2023 could be a continued recession. I think 2024 is really what we need to look for. But again, I'm not making videos on, the market. I may at some point, but this video is really just about Quantumscape and why I love this company so much. On top of Jagdeep, having started this company for 10 years plus, learning about solid state battery, he has the chemistry down. But on top of that, they've just recently gone SPAC on the open market. So they are a pre-revenue company. This is not your typical company. This is the chance to get in on a revolutionary high growth stock. I know this sounds very Wolf on Wall Street, but this stock is going to be the future of EV in my opinion. It's going to surpass everything else in my opinion, and they've taken the slow, long road to growth, right? Okay, they spent 10 years. Now they're giving us a couple year timeline with milestones that they've completely hit every single milestone. What I mean by milestones is, they're going to get to a certain amount of cell layers, like 4 cell layers, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 20, 24, whatever. They're gonna hit all those milestones. On top of that, they're gonna have individual automotive OEMs that are unnamed. We don't know these automotive OEMs yet, but soon we will. Those automotive OEMs are actively testing these cells out. In the last ER, or maybe slightly before the last earnings release, they talked about how they were shipping off their cells to be tested by other automotive OEMs. That did not send the stock skyrocketing, but honestly it should have, because this is another level of de-risking that's happening to this stock. I'm not the most knowledgeable guy in the world about the stock market, but I am on StockTwits, which by no means is that a place to get good investment advice. But there are a lot of passionate people like me about this stock that are doing their due diligence and doing their research on it that have helped me learn more about it and invest more and make better decisions. I do not trade in options. I have traded in options before. For me, this is a long haul, high growth, high risk, potentially very rewarding company to invest in. They were just $5 in January. Now they're $10. I'm pretty happy about that. But at the same time, I think that it's warranted. I think this company has passed their milestones, achieved their goals. And aside from having revenue and having a commercial product ready, this company has the full package in terms of solid state battery tech. They've got JB Straubel on the board. If you don't know who JB Straubel is, let me just give you a quick rundown. JB Straubel was the co-founder of Tesla, right? You have Elon Musk and you have JB Straubel, okay? He's a big guy, okay? He's big in the EV space. He started his own company that he's the CEO of, Redwood Materials Recycling. They're gonna recycle battery contents, battery components. They're gonna be the recycling plant for all of that. And I believe they're about to go public if they haven't already gone public. That's a company that I'm definitely considering looking in, because battery recycling, I think, is the future for sure, especially for EV. And right, batteries, we think about EV. When we think about investing in green and investing in batteries, we think about EV mostly. But this applies to everything. How often? Just now, I've already filmed this video once. This is the second time I've filmed this video because my phone just died on me. I have a brand new iPhone 14, brand new iPhone 14 Pro. The battery is still crap on these phones. Why? Because it's a traditional lithium ion battery. It's so bad. Our lithium ion technology right now is so bad, it just blows my mind that we haven't come up with something yet. And they've been trying to do solid state battery for a very long time. I'm not gonna go into Nikola Tesla and everything he was trying to do, but I think in a lot of ways it's been really hard for the government and the world to accept that we are moving into an EV green-based platform. Now, I love naturally aspirated cars. I have 4 cars. I love naturally aspirated cars, but I just don't see them being the future of this world. In the next 20, 30 years, I think fossil fuel cars will basically get phased out. So that being said, I'm trying to get a head start on what I think the future is gonna be. My parents kind of did the same thing. They invested in green tech early on. That didn't do so well in the 90s, but today is a different environment. Today, millennials like myself really like to invest in something that we can feel good about. And I feel great about investing in a battery company that has solid state battery technology. On top of having JB, on top of having Volkswagen being on 100 million plus backer, which that's a big deal. To have an automotive OEM putting money into your product when you're a pre-revenue company, That's a pretty big deal to get that investment when you're not even locked in with that automotive OEM. Here's the fun part. Quantumscape is not exclusively working with Volkswagen. Quantumscape is working with whoever they want to work with, whoever they want to do a deal with or do contracts with. It's up to them. There's nothing binding about Quantumscape. Are they going to send the first order of solid state batteries out to Volkswagen? Yes, they are. But there's nothing holding them back from expanding and working with several other automotive OEMs. They have an incredible board. I could name off several names of employees. We see these employee spotlight videos every couple months on these new employees that are coming in. Really, really talented, incredible individuals with an incredible background. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm just trying to think of anything else I have to say about this company. I do believe that the Volkswagen will have probably the first nice sports car. The Porsche 911 will be one of the first really nice sports cars that's already had a name, that the brand is already 100 years old, basically, that's going to have a solid state battery in it. If I will absolutely lose my mind if Porsche 911 has a solid state battery, but I think that is going to be the case. I'm really excited for Quantumscape. I can't wait to see what the future holds. And basically, I'm making this video to let you guys know that if you haven't, maybe give Quantumscape a chance and check them out and do your due diligence. I'm super excited for any news that's going to drop today. They've been hitting their milestone one after another with any goals that they have. Shipping out their cells to automotive OEMs to be reviewed and tested is a huge deal. And I have a feeling at today's earnings release conference call at 5 p.m. they're going to do this earnings release conference call. And I think we're going to hear some progress. And I think what we're going to hear is going to blow some people's minds. I think basically Quantumscape is going to get those additional automotive OEM deals, and that's going to be the progress we hear. But either way, I know that Jagdeep Singh, who's the CEO, I think Jagdeep is an incredibly intelligent, calculated guy. Whenever you see him in his interviews, he doesn't overhype anything or overpromise. He pretty much underpromises and overdelivers. That's kind of everyone that I've talked to about Jagdeep Singh seems to have this same idea about him. The reason I haven't talked about this stock that much is because, one, I don't really want to talk about my finances too much on YouTube, but two, because I don't want it to seem like I'm this big wig investor guy when really I'm just a down-to-earth guy that saw this company, that invested everything I had into it gradually. Now, this could be the tale of the retail investor that gets rug pulled and loses everything. I could be that guy. I could lose everything in this company. That's very possible. I probably won't. The company has been really successful in hitting all of their goals, so I'm fairly confident that everything is going to work out for the best. Do I think 2023 it's going to happen that way? I don't know. We'll find out. We're due for commercial production, I think, at the beginning of 2024. Everything has been tested, sent out. It seems like it's all systems go for Quantumscape, and I'm really excited. And granted, the stock was $5, so they release all this new information. Now the stock is $10. So they're de-risking the stock. As the stock moves forward, yes, you may want to wait till the stock is starting to really show consistent growth. But I gotta warn you guys on that, because if you wait too late, this is not a FOMO video. This isn't like, you better get in now or you're gonna miss the ride. But I don't think Quantumscape is ever gonna get back to $5 a share. If it gets back to $5 a share, I will be in line trying to buy shares. But ever since $5 and all the news updates, it's just been steadily increasing. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's up 80+% since January. And I know the market's been pretty good lately, but for the most part, like watching all the indexes, watching all the big names, S&P, NASDAQ, watching them, you can kind of see the same movements. It definitely follows NASDAQ in a sense, but for the most part, I really think that 2024 is going to be a big year for Quantumscape, and that's when we're going to see some serious growth. I just think it's just constantly de-risking. And today, if they release more progress and more news, you bet your bottom dollar that it's going to be de-risked again. What I'm saying by de-risk is it's a pre-revenue company. They don't have their solid state batteries in production. They have the cells, they have the labs, they have the technology. They're going to be building a QS0. They have QS0, I believe. I think they're building QS1. They already have a factory in San Jose, a headquarters that's phenomenal. I've only seen a couple pictures inside of it, but this stuff is very high tech. Definitely out of my range of, common knowledge with EV stuff and the battery space. But it's always really interesting to see their updates and see how they're doing. And Jagdeep just carries himself really, really well. I don't feel nervous with him as a CEO. I feel very at ease. I think he knows what he's doing, and I trust him. And he has a huge, long background with this type of stuff, with solid state batteries, with trying to come up with the design and the chemistry of it all. So I'm super excited about it. Quantumscape has been a pretty volatile stock. In the past 2 years, it's had 10%, 20% days, and then it's ended up trending back down. I think a lot of us have seen this, though. This kind of behavior has been a lot of growth stocks in the stock market the past 2 years. I feel like nobody is safe right now in the stock market for the most part. I think a lot of people are playing the downside. They're placing options puts, and they're betting against a lot of companies. And right now I think is a dangerous time to be shorting, or betting against a company. Shorting is essentially betting against the company. It's hard to be a retail investor and to say you're short on a company, because shorting is more of like a hedge fund, a very big deal. It's when a company puts a big bet against another company. It's when an investment, an institution puts a big bet against another company. It's hard to say that common retail investors are shorting something, but they can buy options puts and they can bet against the market. Quantumscape had a lot of people putting hit pieces and targeting the company and saying that they weren't going to produce anything. And for me, when you have a lot of people coming down on a company that's only delivered good news and only delivered progress throughout its time frame and hitting all of its milestones, I see all of these hit pieces and all these people trying to bring the company down. I see that as a sign that this is a really good company with high growth potential that has a long way to go, that's being held down by institutions and manipulated. More and more this generation is realizing that the stock market is largely manipulated by large institutions. You've got BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Morgan this, Morgan that. Okay, this is the environment that we're in where everything is kind of being hedged against. And I think a lot of people that are long on this company, like myself, that want to see the long-term growth of it, that are just holding common shares, I think a lot of us are just not interested in trying to, play a certain side or make quick money. I'm just waiting for this company to hit its old highs. I'm a big believer in the stock market that history repeats itself. I know that's very naive to think, 132 is a stretch in the next couple years, and maybe not if they produce this product quickly and can get it commercially viable on a production line. But it was at 132 2 years ago in December. It was at 132. Okay. It rose up like that, straight up, came straight down, fizzled out to where it is now. Okay. It's still below the initial SPAC, like the IPO price, basically. I think it was $11. It's like $10 or less, okay? So it's still below that point. This is a fantastic opportunity to get in on this stock before it becomes a really big hit. I do think it's gonna be a big hit. I'm very confident on that. I will continue to do updates and make videos like this. I'm never gonna sell my shares. I'm not gonna take a loss. And when you see that you're down 60, 70, 80%, no loss is a true loss unless you realize it. Unless you actually sell that stock, don't let the market psych you out into letting go of everything that you've held for a long period of time. And I don't consider 2 years really a long hold. I'm a new retail investor, I had really good luck, 2 years ago, and that's just not the market environment anymore. It's not easy to just day trade and flip stuff and make quick money. This is an environment where you have to be calculated and you have to look at stuff and you have to see that there's really big growth opportunities. And what is that term for investors? Oh my God. It's a term for investors, contrarian investing. Contrarian investing. I think that's the term, contrarian investing. Investing in stuff while it's really, really far down, while it's beaten down to the ground, where it has way more growth potential than it does downward potential. Like, right, it's $10 basically right now. It was $5. Okay, the stock might go down $5 again. It might consolidate again to a low price range where people can buy in again at. Just know the levels that you feel, like the risk tolerances that you feel to buy into a stock like this again. But the potential growth for this stock, it's crazy. At 132 at some point, I think there's no reason why we can't hit the 30s and the 40s. And that doesn't even make me any money. If it hits $30 a share, I basically break even on my life savings investment over 2 years ago. So this is by no means like a get rich quick scheme stock to invest in. This is really me saying that I am a finance business background, college degree student in Charlotte, North Carolina. I already run a business. I also have a card selling business. I also have a YouTube. I'm just I'm giving my opinion on what's going to happen with this stock, and I do think that in the end, this stock is going to be one of my best financial decisions that I've ever made. And I just think it requires a lot of patience, right? There's a famous saying that the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. What that's trying to say is the prices can go up and down longer than you have money coming in for your paychecks to throw money into it. I think a lot of institutions bank that retail investors like myself, the small fish of the investing world, we're going to get burnt out because we're going to put all of our money into this because it's a big gamble, and then we're expecting our money back out, and then we have fear and we end up selling early, and then that's that, and the damage is already done there. But what I'm saying is just hold out. Be patient if you're already invested in this company, and you find this content because you're looking on updates for Quantumscape. I don't know if I'm the kind of investor you want to see invested in this company, but I'm an average guy. My dad bought the Prius when it first released, and I dogged on that car so much, and it was an absolutely fantastic car. My dad's had like 5 Priuses since. I want a Prius. I think they're fantastic cars, but I'm also waiting for the EV market to really come up with something that's affordable and that has the style and looks of a Tesla without the price tag. Anyways, guys, this is a solid state battery tech company using a ceramic separator instead of the traditional lithium ion materials. People have been trying to do this for decades. No one's ever been able to make it happen. I believe that Jagdeep Singh and his team are going to be the people to make it happen. I know that I left out names of people that are on the board of QS that are really influential individuals that are highly intelligent, highly accomplished. But I got out as much as I could, and I think that this company is going to be absolutely phenomenal down the road, and I can't wait to see what they do with Volkswagen and how they deliver on their products. And I'm very interested at 5 o'clock today to see what they release with their earnings release and their conference calls, to hear if, hey, did we hear any news from the automotive OEMs that have been testing these cells from you guys? That's the kind of stuff that I want to know about. I'm super excited, and for the most part, I've just been happy this year with the investment. The last 2 years have just been brutal. Every time I thought, this is the end, it's about to go back up, I got dogged and dogged and dogged again. Finally, I invested around $5, $6, $7, $8, and at each of those intervals, as it went up, I thought, this is still a good deal. I'm gonna buy more here, I'm gonna buy more here. And as it went up, now it's kind of stable. It's been stable at $7, $8, and now it's up at $10. I don't know what the stock is doing currently because I'm making this video, but I imagine after the earnings call, if it's so-so news, the stock will still remain consistent, and we'll see the stock around $9 a share consistently for the next month, maybe 2 months. And it'll steadily go past 10, then 11, then we're gonna go for 15, 20, 30, and the sky is gonna be the limit from there. And I guess at that point, they'll probably be in production and commercially viable. But this is all speculation, right? This is my speculation. This is my attempt at making a investment video that's highly speculative, that's just giving my thoughts and saying, I'm this kind of person, I'm an average guy, but even I have my entire life savings in this company. I know when to pull out of a company. I've been in companies where I saw a company go downhill. I did my research and said, you know what, I'm gonna pull out of this company early. I'm gonna take a 20% loss. I'm gonna take a 10% loss. But I've never had an investment of this size either. I've never had an investment where I kept losing money and I kept putting more. And remember, you're not losing money, okay? It's only loss if you realize that loss. If you take that loss and you actually sell those shares. Until then, it's all just lines on a graph, and don't let it psych you out. But I have never, in all of my time investing, which, okay, I'm a young guy, I'm 28. How much time could I possibly have been investing? I've been investing for like 3 to 4 years on and off. I have a Roth IRA, I have a retirement, I have savings, I have money elsewhere that I just don't care about. And then there's this investment, which has honestly been the most exciting thing to invest in, even though I've lost, in theory, hypothetically, 80, 70% on the investment. I'm finally seeing that my contrarian style investment of continuing to buy while it was beaten down to $5, that's finally starting to work out for me. And honestly, you're feeling regret on both ends. You feel regret if it goes high and you didn't buy enough, and you feel regret if it goes down low and you didn't sell early enough. It's always the grass is greener. So you really just have to pick your battles. And in this case, I don't know what I would have done with that money. My money has been tied up in the stock market for 2 years now, and it's okay to me for it to have been tied up. I've got my YouTube, I've got my Pokemon stuff, I'm starting to get into fitness again. I'm feeling great about my life. My bar is doing really, really well. Overall, things are moving forward. And so now this is less of an investment that I'm completely dependent on and I need it to work out. I need this money back quickly. This is now something that I'm watching and thinking, how much more could I get of this? What price am I waiting for it to consolidate back down to buy again? And I think if this stock goes back to $6 or $7, that's going to trigger me to start buying again and start adding more, and accumulating more. It's not about timing the market. Another cliche phrase, it's not about timing the market. It's about your time in the market. For those of you that watch my Pokemon content, this might be a bit of a shocker that I'm into the stock market like this and very interested in it, but I did have a background in finance, and that was my first job out of college. I went to a financial office, JHG Financial here in Charlotte. But I just felt like it wasn't for me, and I wanted to start day trading and learning how to make money my own way. One of my goals in life is to be able to be anywhere I want in the world and to make money trading stock. Obviously, this past 2 years, the stock market has not treated me too well, so it's hard to see that goal and think that I might see it into fruition. But you know what? I've got my YouTube. It's doing fantastic. I love seeing it grow, but I decided to do content that was a little bit different than my baseline Pokemon content because I thought, 1, people might enjoy it. 2, people might see this as a good investment opportunity. And 3, it's just investing videos seem to do really well on YouTube. And I love talking about investing. I love the stock market. It's very interesting to me. It's very boring, and it gets very dull to a lot of people, but to me, I find it really interesting how companies are valuated, how certain information can change a stock and make it overnight explode, and how to avoid certain hype trains and scams and things of that nature. And this is not investing in advice. People say that all the time. I don't want anybody putting their life savings into Quantumscape because they saw my Quantumscape video and they saw that I've done that exact same thing. Just do what you're comfortable with. do your information, check out the company. Let me know in the comments below if you've looked into this company, if you've ever seen it. A lot of people know about this company that are in the finance world and have their opinions on it. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Did I screw up? Am I going to lose all my money? Or did I maybe make a really good aggressive growth play in the EV sector? Anyways, I'll let you guys get back to me, and after this video, I will be doing some Pokemon content, so stay tuned for that. Peace.